Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope your guys' weekend was pretty good. Hope you guys watched my live stream from yesterday. I was talking about MLB 16 The Show hype, and I was playing MLB 15 The Show, my Rangers season. Pretty fun times, you know. Alright, so Koi is going to be the first game that was made entirely in China on PS4, and it's basically just like a fish in a pond by solving puzzles, opening lotus flowers, and dodging predators. It's obviously not a AAA game or anything by any means, but it seems like a pretty interesting game, honestly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no definitive release date beyond 2016, but it's going to be getting its first showcase at the Game Developers Conference in March here this month. But it could open the floodgates for Chinese console makers, especially indies, which is pretty cool. You know, I don't really know how many games are actually physically made in China, but I don't know. But it's kind of cool to see the first AAA Chinese game, or not AAA Chinese game, first Chinese game that was solely made for the PlayStation 4. But it more than likely will come out for other consoles too. It's not just going to limit itself to PlayStation 4. So, I mean, yeah. Moving on. Sims 4, there's rumors that now it might be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I have played The Sims 4, for the PC. I never really got into it that much. But apparently, you know, obviously it came out in September of 2014, so a year and a half ago roughly. And apparently there is no console version, which usually arrives a little later. But the developers, if I'm not mistaken, I think EA makes The Sims, and they're pretty like mum on like the consoles. They haven't really said anything about it. Usually by now you'd get the version on console. But I think the main thing with The Sims 4, if they were to bring it to console, you need to pretty much move around your character like you could on the PS2 version. The Sims 3 sucked. Like, yeah, it was fun to like build a house and stuff, but you couldn't walk around. You basically just told your guy where to go and what to do. It was actually really boring, I thought. But if they were to make it for PS4 and an Xbox One, that's what they're going to need to do is make it so you can walk around with the character. Otherwise, it's boring. Like, what's the point, you know? But NeuroGadget, which is the developer, they've worked on console ports for the game in the past, and they take around 2 years for the console port to be completed after the game's release. That's actually a really long time, but apparently there's still 6 months before the 2-year wait ends. But I don't know. It's March and not much has been said about the game since the release of the game, actually. So I haven't heard anything of The Sims 4. This just came up and I'm like, whoa, Sims 4 news. But it's actually just speculation and rumors. I thought it was actually going to be confirmed. And apparently they listed some cool facts about the game. And I'll just read them off to you. The Sims 4 is one of the 2 games in the series to feature more than one neighborhood in its initial release. It's the first in 2 series to leave out firefighters and burglars. It uses a new engine. The Sims 4 features a new game time period, has no connection to past editions. Families from past games do appear in The Sims 4. The game receives free updates every month. The Sims has sold over 150 million copies around the world. That's all series and versions or whatever. So yeah, I guess I can't wait to see, like, if it comes out. I mean, I'm fine with the PC version just because you can do a lot more, but I don't know. It's kind of too little too late, I think, for The Sims. I mean, you know, it's basically, like, it's a fun game and everything, but it's kind of too late for that now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'd like to see it on the console and see how it does, but you never know. Alright, so Phil Spencer promises Microsoft is still committed to the Xbox One. Obviously, Xbox announced exclusive franchise will be on Windows 10 PCs as well. But Phil Spencer said they're still focused on Xbox One. Here's what he had to say. The main concept that people have is we are losing focus on the console. Microsoft is backing away from its focus on the console and concentrates only to Windows. Not true at all. We are more committed to our console and the future of the console than we ever were. So that's probably a good thing. Like, I really like Phil Spencer. Like, he's not like one of those big higher end CEOs that could care less if the console is good. I guess kind of like, almost like Sony. Like, I don't want to say it, but it's kind of like what Sony is. Phil Spencer actually like wraps his head around situations and says, yeah, it's like we are focused or we're not. And he's like one of the best guys I think in the gaming industry right now. I don't care if you like Xbox or not. You have to admit Phil Spencer is a smart guy. He knows what to do. I mean, look what he's done since the initial announcement of the Xbox One. Will the Xbox One catch the PS4? Probably not, but at least he turned the ship around and wanted, he's doing what he has to do, and I can't wait to see like what they have in store for the Xbox this year. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun thing. I feel like the Xbox is gonna do some big things this year, and it'll just be fun to watch, I guess, because consoles are, the only thing keeping them alive is the exclusives, and if Microsoft went away from like the console, and then Sony was sole possession of consoles, because honestly I don't know where Nintendo's at right now with the NX or anything, but if they went away, Sony could do whatever they would want to with the console. They could say DRM, and people would have to do it, and then if they're going to do that, you might as well buy a PC. Like, that's all it would come down to, because Sony would have the market, like, it wouldn't be fun. I don't want it to ever happen, but I feel like one day it might, and the only thing keeping consoles alive and relevant right now is the exclusives, whether you like to admit that or not. And it's just ease of, like, peace of mind. Like, you buy a PS4, Xbox One, it will be able to play that game that you buy. With a PC, you have to figure out if your graphics card is good enough, your processor, how many gigs of RAM you have. All that plays a factor, and it's, for a lot of people, that's not something they want to do. They just want to buy a console and play. So yeah, that's really all I want to talk about in this video. Make sure to like this video, comment, rate, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.